Whoa. I made it. I'm in the past. I'm in 1992. I'm going to look up Brittany Ferlin, my favorite YouTuber. Brittany Ferlin. Is that your name?
Yes.
There's a thing in your future called YouTube. Please be on it.
Okay.
Having trouble getting off? Here, I'll get it off for you. Here you go. Well, you know the old saying, he who laughs last doesn't get the joke. Yeah, there's one thing I can say, if you don't like the way somebody's doing something, walk a mile in their shoes. Then if you don't like it, you can still complain about it because they're a mile away and they're barefooted.
Here's a word of advice for little bambinos. Don't think with your dick and don't fuck with your head.
Wow, a beer bottle. Way out in the middle of nothing. Let's dust this thing off a little bit. Whoa, who are you? I'm the beer bottle genie. I'll grant you 3 wishes. You're not no beer bottle genie. You think I'm born yesterday? Yes, I am. I'll prove it. Make 3 wishes. I wish you was a genie. That'd be nice. It is done. Okay, I wish you really could grant me wishes. Your wish is my command. Okay, now I wish you'd just stop it. And your final grant. See? And you didn't think I was a genie. Hello, and welcome to another Vine by Hiker Bob. Why did the cowboy buy a little wiener dog? Because somebody said, get along, little doggy. And what did the snowman say to the other snowman? Smells like carrots. But anyway, moving on along with it. But people should always be nice to people. It's like, I'll be right back. Hello. Yeah, this neighbor has a pet rabbit in the backyard. They got a fence up, and their other neighbor's dog is always trying to bark at the rabbit and everything else, and bothers the rabbit when the kids are out there playing in the yard with it and all, and everything else. And the neighbors always telling the dog, shut up, leave the rabbit alone, this and that, you know, and they've got a fence between them. They're trying to be good neighbors with each other. But one day, they go out in the backyard, and the dog's got the rabbit all chewed up, covered in mud, all dog spit all over it and everything else, dead as it can be. And like, oh crap, this is really going to make a bad impression with the neighbors here. And the wife says, well, I got an idea. Just take the rabbit in the house, we'll clean it up and everything else. So they clean it, they shampoo it and everything else, take a blow dry it all nice and clean and everything else, and then they sneak it back over to the neighbor's house before they got back from work, and they put it back in the cage. And they said, well, maybe they'll think it just died, you know, in the cage. And they go home. A couple of days go by, and finally he's talking to the neighbor. He goes, how you doing? He goes, oh, I'm doing all right. And he goes, kids doing okay and everything else? He goes, yeah, they're doing fine. He goes, but something weird happened the other day. And he goes, what? And he goes, you know that rabbit we had? He goes, yeah. And he goes, well, it died, and we buried it in the backyard. And he says, and some sick bastard dug it back up and put it in a cage. Well, they always say you can tell when a man's blessed when they go, wow, look at the size of his hands, or look at the size of his feet, or man, look at the size of his nose, or look at his big ears. I sure hope he's blessed, because he sure is funny looking. There's this colonel and a private on a train. Sitting on the other side of them is a really attractive mother and a really beautiful daughter. And they're driving along, they're not saying nothing, and they're just traveling along. The colonel's reading a book, and the mother's reading a book. The 2 younger ones are kind of like looking at each other, but not saying anything. And they come into a tunnel. It's pitch black. And you hear, and then you hear a real hard slap. And they come out of the tunnel. And the young girl's thinking, oh, the young man must have reached over there to try to give me a kiss and accidentally kissed my mother, and my mother slapped him. And the mother's thinking, wow, the young man must have reached over and kissed my daughter, and she was being like a lady, like I taught her, and slapped him. And the colonel's thinking, wow, the young man must have reached over and kissed the girl, and she accidentally mistaked me for him and slapped the crap out of my face. So they come into another tunnel. It gets pitch black in here. And then you're all over again. And the daughter's thinking, wow, the colonel must have reached over and kissed my mother. And she hauled off and slapped him. Because the colonel's rubbing his face. And colonel's thinking, man, the young man must have reached over and kissed that young girl again. And she mistaked me once again for him and slapped the crap out of my face again. And the mother's thinking, well, that young man will learn eventually. He keeps kissing my daughter, she'll keep slapping him. And the private sitting there thinking, wow, I'm having a good time on this trip. I get to kiss my arm, slap the crap out of the colonel, and here comes another tunnel.
Good morning, it's hot the whole night through. Good morning to you.
Friends would be like, what's good about it? Down, camera up. That's the way I like to vine. Well, I guess my goose is cooked. Spank this, choke that. Because what happens when the pirate says, I'm tired of you, Polly, but look at your neck. This is the song that never ends. These two young guys are speeding through Alabama, and or not to insult anybody from there, we'll say Georgia, or a non-existent state. But anyway, they were speeding along, and this state trooper pulls them over. He goes up there to the kids, and the kids are kind of smart asses, and they go, you know, roll down your window. And he says, you know how fast you're going? And the kid goes, I don't know, you tell me. And the cop hauls off, knocks the crap out of him, knocks him over in the seat. Kid gets up, rubbing his face. He goes, I'm sorry, sir. And he goes, I'll talk to you in just a minute. He goes right around the car, knocks on the passenger's window. Passenger rolls down the window. Wham! Hits the other kid in the passenger seat. And the kid goes, what'd you hit me for? And he goes, I was just making your dream come true. And he goes, what do you mean? And he goes, I know no sooner than your friend starts driving his car off, you're going to tell your friend, I wish he would have done that to me.